Hi guys, this is Marcin Nemsh and welcome to the third episode of Deck Check. Today we'll be talking about a Druid designed by Strifecro, which got him to the first place in a Legend ladder. I used the same deck, swapping only Baron Geddon for Cairne Bloodhoof, and I got myself to the top 10 EU Legend ladder with the same build. This is an anti-aggro deck that is very good against aggro Warlock, aggro Mage, Rogue, Hunter, whatever aggressive deck they throw at you, you can deal with it. It only has problems against a Control Warlock deck and maybe Warrior. So this deck is very flexible, it's anti-aggro but also can be very aggressive itself. It's good against a mirror and yeah, it's perfect. So let's get to the part when we talk about the specific cards one by one. The first card you can see in this deck is Innervate. Innervate is a very good card that's only available to Druids. It accelerates the deck and it supports a lot of strategies here. So if I am playing, because in this deck you can make a decision if you're an aggressive player or a defensive player. So if I'm going aggro, I will use Innervate to play Harvest Golem on turn 1. So if I start, I play Innervate and then play Harvest Golem turn 1, which is amazing. And also I can use Innervate to... Actually, if I'm going as an aggressive player, this is the only aggressive play I would do, because most likely I will keep Innervate to play Ancient of Lore on turn 5 or Cenarius on turn 7. Because if I'm an aggressive player, I can... I have time, because I am an aggressive player, so I can do a lot of stuff and play good cards first and then get the beefy guys later. Also, Innervate is fantastic if you are using Cairne. So you can play Cairne on turn 4 using Innervate on turn 4 to get to 6 mana. If you don't have all the legendaries here, you can play Faceless Manipulator, which is a fantastic follow-up for Cairne on turn 4. Playing Manipulator on turn 5 to copy Cairne is just sick. What else? If I'm on defense, so if I'm playing against an aggro Warlock, then Innervate is a great card to Innervate Keeper of the Groove and deal 2 damage to something they have, like to kill the Knife Juggler or the Flame Imp. Also, I was playing against Murlocs once, I mean a couple of times, but that one time the guy had the full board on turn 3, which is pretty amazing. But what was more amazing was that I innervated my Starfall and dealt 2 damage to the board, clearing the board entirely. So there's a lot of plays you can do it with Innervate. Also, don't be afraid of using Innervate with Wild Pyromancer. Even if you lose some mana, you can deal a lot of damage out of it. So you play Wild Pyromancer, then Innervate. Pyromancer deals 1 damage to the board, and you still have 2 mana, or even 3, depending on which turn is it, to play your Wrath or Claw or whatever you have. So there is a lot of different uses for Innervate depending on the matchup and on your setup. But the card is amazing, that's for sure. Then there is Claw. Strifecro and I were running only one Claw, because you have a lot of different answers for the early game. Like you have Claw, you have Wrath, you have Wild Pyromancer to AoE, you have Swipe, which can be innervated. You can innervate Starfall even, and Keeper of the Groove. All those cards answer the small minions that that opponents play early. And Claw is pretty much useless as a late game card. You can always use it as a again. You can decide if you're an offensive player or defensive player. You can use Claw as a removal card, or you can use Claw to deal 2 damage, which is not very impressive. Which is why on late game you probably don't want to draw Claws instead of like Druid of the Claw. So 1 Claw is enough in this deck. Also, like, Claw is amazing with Wild Pyromancer. Turn 3 you play Wild Pyromancer, you Claw, you do 1 damage to the board, and kill something that had 3 health with the Claw, with your hero. So Claw is very good. Some of people play 2 Claw, 1 Wrath, or 2 Claw, no Wraths. Here Strifecro decided to play 1 Claw, double Wrath, which I agree with, because Wrath is a card that you can cycle when the game progresses. So the cycle means that you can play it and deal 1 damage and draw a card. So even if it's late game and you won't be able to kill anything with it, you still draw a card, so you have something else than Wrath in your hand. But also Wrath obviously is a very good removal card early to deal 3 damage to a minion and kill it. It works with Wild Pyromancer, it can be cycled, it's a perfect card. Which is why I've crafted the second golden one, because I had only 1. Then you have Bloodmage Thalnos. Bloodmage Thalnos is one of the best legendaries, one of the most popular ones, that's for sure.
he has spell damage and draws a card. You mostly don't play Bloodmage Thalnos on turn 2. You keep you keep him for turn 4 or turn 6 because you want to use Bloodmage with Wrath or with Swipe or with Starfall. So if you can empower any of those spells, it's very good, and you always draw a card, unless they silence him. But if they silence Bloodmage, that's still fine, because silences right now are very limited. So if they silence Thalnos, they might not be able to silence your Sylvanas or Cairne, so you are still fine with that. Bloodmage Thalnos, very good. Not really, I don't think he can be replaced, maybe by another Loot Hoarder, but you are only limiting the strength of the deck. Loot Hoarder, I seriously don't like the card, but I understand why it's in the deck. It draws you card, that's for sure. It deals 2 damage. You can probably use not Pagel instead of Loot Hoarder, but if you are going aggro, that 2 damage might make a difference. When you play Loot Hoarder, also, like, the only thing I like about the card is that you disrupt your opponent's rhythm. So if I play it against the mage on turn 3, then I know that he will probably kill the Loot Hoarder. I still draw a card, mind you, so it worked. But his turn 3 will be using his hero power. So instead of playing a card that he maybe planned to play, he has to kill the Loot Hoarder. So I use Loot Hoarder as that rhythm disruptor. And if you want to win games, you have to disrupt your opponent's rhythm to win. So Loot Hoarder can serve that purpose. Other than that, he's just, you play it turn 2 and he dies turn 3. Well, that's the life of the Loot Hoarder. What can you do? Against the classes that are not able to kill him with hero power, he's a bit better, but still it's a very easy card to kill. But you draw a card. If you can buff it with the Defender of Argus, that's cool. Well, the card is not bad, it's just annoying. Novice Engineer, one of the most popular cards in the current metagame. In every deck you have 2 copies because, well, it draws you a card when you play it, and it's a 1/2. This is fine, but the main purpose of this card is that it actually thins your deck. It cycles through your deck, so you have you draw more cards, so you have a better chance to draw something important later because you have less cards in your deck. So there is a bigger chance that you will draw your combos and your best cards because you like filter your deck very fast thanks to the Novice Engineers and Loot Hoarders and stuff. So not much to say here. It's an okay card. It needs to be in the deck. Wild Pyromancer. It's a tech. It's a very good card here. Like not all the druids play it. Like a lot of druids play Ancient Watcher and Sunfield Protector. This build plays Wild Pyromancer, which is amazing. Like, this card is so good. It's against all the aggro decks. It's just another AOE that you can use. It deals a lot of damage. It kills like blood imps. It kills well, everything. It helps you to go through with damage against anything. If I'm playing against Ancient Watchers, well, I rough them and they get 1 damage. Well, also it like enables the best answer to the Harvest Golem. If they play Harvest Golem, you can play Wild Pyromancer and then rough it next turn. So the Harvest Golem dies, and then he gets a 2/1 token, and Wild Pyromancer triggers because you played a spell and the token is dead, and you still have a free 2 which got 1 damage, which is a free 1. So Wild Pyromancer, definitely MVP of this build, enables great early plays, and it's also a free 2 for 2, so the stats are okay. Seriously, this card. Nothing else to say, it's just too good. Earthen Ring Farseer. So a lot of druids were playing Healing Touch. Healing Touch is probably fine against mages because you heal 8, but it mostly doesn't do much. And heal 8 for 3 mana, that's fine. But Farseer is still doing his job, so you can also you can use usually escape the mage with the heals because you have Farseer and Ancient of Lore, so you can effectively heal about 16 damage here. So it's very good. He also has the armor, so it's easier to escape the mages. But still, like, Earthen Farseer is a very solid drop. Like, turn 3, playing a 3/3 for free is super fine. And if you can actually heal a minion, well, depending on the matchups, like against the mage, I mostly heal myself. But if I play a mirror, and I did have a Druid of the Claw as a 4/6 taunt, then I attack into something, kill it, and then play a Farseer, heal my Druid, and I'm still in the game building my board for the final Cenarius outcome. But yeah, like, this card is very decent, and it really accompanies this build and strategy. Then you have a Harvest Golem, which is stable on every deck. Like you have to have them. Like this card is so good. Like hands down, one of the best free drops here. Well, I was talking about Harvest Golems before, so nothing to add here. Swipe, perfect card because you can target the hero as well. So, and as a defensive card, you just swipe the board, get as much damage as possible, preferably with Bloodmage Thalnos. Will maybe Innervate it to cast it before to deal 5 damage and 2 damage to the other enemies. You can also swipe the opposing hero. Like I was able to win against the Control Warlock only because I had 2 swipes in my hand and I was able to deal 8 damage with swipes alone after he played Lord Jaraxxus. So swipe is a really good Druid card, one of the best Druid cards available to you. Use it well. Sometimes it's better to just keep it and try to kill your opponent with minions. Don't waste the swipe, but swipe is really good. Defender of Argus, great card, but you have to remember that people are playing Black Knight now, so don't get a lot of taunts. Like if you're playing against a Druid, they will probably have a Black Knight. Rogues play Black Knight, so you have to be very careful about the Defender of Argus. But still, it's a very good card. It buffs your minions. It gives you some kind of protection. So the card is very good. Like I like to buff Cairne to make it a taunter, and even if they destroy it with a Black Knight, I still get a Bane Bloodhoof 4/5 token. So Defender of Argus very good. I was discussed before. Keeper of the Grove. Its stats are super fine. Deals 2 damage. If you are playing as an aggressive player, you will be using Silence to get through their taunts. But mostly, like you have to remember that you have 2 keepers in the deck. And those are your 2 silences. So play them well. Like don't force them. If you're playing against a Druid, like keep them. You probably want to silence that Sylvanas or Cairne if they play it. So don't waste the Keeper of the Grove. If you're playing against an aggro deck, obviously play the Keeper as soon as possible, just to get advantage, because aggro decks play a lot of free 2s. So if you are able to play the Keeper, like Innervate the Keeper turn 2, kill their Knife Juggler, and then attack into their Flame Imp, it's so good. Like it wins you the game almost instantly. So Keeper of the Grove is so good here. A very good card that you can play like in many different options again, and decide on your own. Starfall. I was missing AoE damage when I was playing the Druid before. I haven't run Starfall. With Starfall here, as it works. It works. It's one of the best plays I had with Starfall is like mages playing turn 1 Manaraf. It's Worm. He's playing Worm, and then he plays double Mirror Image, and I'm like, well played. And then I Innervate Starfall turn 3, and they're like, oh, well played, concede. So Starfall is so good. And again, like the Murlocs I've mentioned, and so with also as a single removal, it's still a good card. Like 5 damage for 5, it's super decent. You want to kill Sylvanas? Fine, Starfall it. You want to kill that Ragnaros because, mind you, there is no Think Master Overspark in this deck, which is also a very good legendary that you can play. So there is no Think Master, which is the best answer for Ragnaros. But well, yeah, you still have Starfall, and dealing that 3 more damage is not a problem. Like Starfall and Wrath and Ragnaros, fine. Just attack Ragnaros with Earthen Farseer and Starfall it, still fine. So one Starfall, okay. Remember to use it with Thalnos if possible and if needed. Then you have the Druid of the Claw. Perfect card, 4/6 or a 4/4 charge. If you are on a defensive, obviously play it as a 4/6. I like to play it on turn 3 against a rogue, like Innervate it to have something big early to win the board, because they will have to use like Backstab and Eviscerate. They have to use a lot of cards to kill the Druid of the Claw as a taunter. I also use them often as a charger if I'm going aggressive. If I'm playing against a Druid, I mostly play it as a charger to not get a Black Knight in my face. So Druid of the Claw is a very good card. Then you have Sylvanas, which obviously is one of the most popular legendaries, the best legendary right now, because like almost everyone plays her. It's hard to deal with her, you have to silence her somehow, or just get the board. Like people play Think Master Overspark, but they don't always have Think Master in their hand, so Sylvanas is very good here. Also, it's fine probably to get her a +1 and +1 and taunt, because if she gets destroyed, then you take control of something. So Sylvanas obviously very good. Cairne was ignored before, is being played now. Very good. gives you a lot of board presence and board position when you play Cairne. People have to deal with Cairne. If they silence it, it's still a 4/5. The problem is the 4 attack. But if you're playing against Priest, it's actually a bonus, it's a plus. But most of the time, I like to buff Cairne to get 5 attack on him, or just use Wrath to deal that one last damage. So Cairne is still very decent card, and the biggest advantage is that it really creates the board. Like, they have to kill Cairne, then they have to kill Bane, so they have to use a lot of cards to deal with it. Black Knight. Well, Black Knight is a tech card. Against a Druid, it wins you the games. It also serves a lot of purposes. If people are still playing Defender of Argus, and if they play Defender of Argus, you can just play Black Knight to kill something. And like, everybody plays Defender of Argus, even Warlock builds, aggressive Warlocks. Like, so many times I killed a 5/5 Dark Iron Dwarf with my Black Knight, and the aggressive player was so sad when I did that. So Black Knight's still good. Keep it in hand, like. If you're playing against a Druid and they play Druid of the Claw, if it wins you the situation and if it pushes you ahead, you can do it. But sometimes it's good to keep the Black Knight in hand. If they possibly play Ancient of War, it's so devastating to kill the Ancient of War with the Black Knight. You just steal the turn and you still get a 4/5 on the board. So Black Knight is very good, and he will play for now in the current metagame. Ancient of Lore. Well, it's perfect. It's a 5/5 for 7. You can play it on turn 5 with Innervate. It draws you 2 cards or restores 5 health, depending on the situation. If I'm playing against Mage, I mostly restore 5 health. Against like any other deck, I draw cards. Against all the mid-range control, like against Druids and stuff, I really want to have my Ancient. I often even mulligan for Ancient of Lore. I mean, if I'm playing against a Druid, I want to have one in my hand, because I really need to play one. At some point, and then on turn 7 I want to play it, so it's very important in that matchup. Like, in any mid-range, like if you're not playing against aggro, you want those Ancients of Lore to draw you cards, because you have to get cards to sustain yourself. And Cenarius, I'm happy that I have a golden one. So Cenarius, the aim of this deck, if you are going aggressive, is you have to set up a board. Like, you have to get like 2-3 minions on board, and your opponent has nothing, or has something insignificant. And then you play Cenarius, your guys are going bigger, and you go for the face and win, or just trade with a lot of advantage here. So Cenarius wins you the game. You can also Innervate him on turn 7, obviously. And yeah, if you're like losing and you don't have the board, you can still play it and get the board. So you have the Cenarius, you have the Trends, which are 2/2 taunts, so they are cool. It really fits the design and the thought behind this deck. So yeah, that's Cenarius. And as you can see, there is no Ragnaros, because it doesn't do a thing here in this deck. Like, you go aggro, you get minions, you get the board, you clear the board that your opponent has with Wild Pyromancers and stuff, and then when you have the board, you drop Cenarius and win. So Ragnaros will be like. Won't be doing that much in this deck. Like, Cenarius is a better fit. And then, like, there are no Ancients of War, because you clear the board. Like, you are not defending yourself just by playing minions and doing nothing. You are an aggressor here. Like, to take advantage, you clear the board and you push with damage. So this is the thing. And also, there is in the current metagame, there is a lot of different answers to Ancient of Wars and Ragnaros. So there's the Black Knight, the Big Game Hunter, Master of a Spark, and Silence and stuff. So this deck is the nuts. Like, the Strifecro, who designed the deck. I really recommend you to try to play it. Obviously, you can do your own changes, like maybe play Master of a Spark, or swap some legends for some other legends if you don't have them. The deck will still work. Like, I really recommend to have that Cenarius here, and obviously Sylvanas and Thalnos, but you can probably swap the Black Knight and Cairne to use something else. And yeah, this is the deck, so let's play a couple of games with it and see how it works. So welcome to the first game, guys. We'll be playing against Rogue. I'm playing Strifecro's Druid, and as you can see, I got Innervate and Harvest Golem, so we can go full aggro, and we have also a turn to play, so I'm tempted to keep it. I'm playing on casual mode, unfortunately, because I'm a bit afraid of losing my ranking right now, but I think it should be fine to demonstrate on how this deck works. So yeah, let's keep this hand and see how it goes. We're going first. Oh my god, this is Cairne, so we can probably play it on turn 4, but still I want to follow up on the turn 1 Harvest Golem and see how our opponent reacts to that play. We're playing as a rogue, so there is a possible, like, what is even possible? Is there a play that he can do? Like, the best thing he can play is Argent Squire right now. He can, okay, he has the coin and plays what, Innervate? Okay, I'm sorry, Eviscerate, I mean, and he can backstab the token. Or just leave it. That wasn't bad at all. He kills the guy and he'll be able to create a weapon and kill it next turn. But we have the Loot Hoarder as a follow-up that can deal some damage and draw a card, so it should work. We got Thalnos, by the way, which does nothing at this point, but he's okay to have. Our opponent has 5 cards, we only have 2, but we'll get a card from this small guy. So we attack for 2, and I think we can play Thalnos because dealing 1 damage won't matter at this point, and we're having some board and we can draw more cards out of it. On turn 4, we need a turn 4 drop, so I'm happy with playing Thalnos here. Well, fortunately, this rogue seems like a normal deck. Like, we are not playing against a newbie who doesn't know what he plays, so it's fortunate. So look, like, we got him to 22 life right now, and we got a couple of good plays here. So yeah, this is a fair turn to play. He doesn't have a weapon, but he will have to. Against a rogue, I like to clear the board as much as possible. Because turn 4 he can play Dark Iron Dwarf or Argent, Defender of Argus, so I really want him to have a clear board. So here I draw a card out of my Wrath, clear the board, and still have a free one on the board as a follow-up. So he can't play the Dwarf now and Defender of Argus. He will have to play something and create a weapon and kill this guy and take 3 damage. Shiv. It's not very popular, people don't play it now. This is a casual mode, so anything can happen. Which is actually good, because sometimes you also have to play in a casual mode, because people have surprises. So we are going full aggro here, so I believe we can play the Druid and attack full 4, but maybe a better play would be to play the Novice Engineer, see what we draw, and then play Farseer. That's interesting. Next turn I will play Cairne. Okay, let's go full aggro. Let's charge the guy, deal 4 damage, let's see what happens. If he plays Dark Iron Dwarf, he won't be able to kill it, and maybe next turn we'll be able to deal 4 more damage and heal this guy and do something.
Put this apple on your head.
So we get a Knife Juggler. Oh! 4 damage. Obviously, that's good. It looked like he's targeting me. I was afraid that, because that would be a horrible mistake. But he did well. He did well. He cleared the guy. We got another one. But now I think Cairne would be the best option to play. To see what he does. Well, the best answer for Cairne is Sylvanas. I don't believe he will be playing any Silence cards, so I hope that Cairne will be a card that's really hard to deal with right now. Also, look at we had many scenarios to play. Like, we could play it as 4/6 stone. We could play this, draw a card, and heal ourselves. But I prefer to heal minions if possible. He plays Kobold Geomancers. That's surprising. And I somehow really want to draw my Starfall right now. He backstabs Cairne for 4. This is insane. But we got Bane, so what happens? Shift for free. Is this reality? Like, this is an incredible game right now. A spell damage rogue. Seems dangerous. So if I play a 5/5, it will probably die, so we might want to play something else. I'd like to draw a Starfall here. No Starfall, Keeper of the Grove. We can play a Keeper and kill one of those guys. But also, like, we can just play the Druid of the Claw. I think, okay, let's kill one of them with the Keeper. Now he only has +1 spell damage, but that last turn was pretty exciting. The guy's name is Whoops. Well, whoops, that was interesting. So what do you do, Mr. Rogue? You have a 2/2 Wild Pyromancer. I won't probably take that candle. I will just focus on my gameplay here. So we see a Deadly Poison. He has 3 cards and 4 mana. He does not clear the board. He just got damage there. And we have a 2/1, so now we need to clear the board. And we probably can with this sexy card here. So we clear the board. We heal our Druid, cancelling his efforts to kill this guy. He's probably not very much enough with the golden cards. This is why he attacked here. So we had a board. Oh, half of it at least. And he has only 10 life. So he was able to clear the board, but see, like, we have so many threats that we play each turn, and we deal so much damage here. Rogue has a lot of board clear abilities, but it's probably not enough. So what I have to do here, I could actually attack for 4 to get him on 6, but it doesn't have sense because it doesn't make sense because we can just draw cards. We have a lot of health, so we need to increase our advantage here. And this one will die to the hero attack anyway. Or just Wrath and draw another card, which is even better. So he has only 1 card in hand, he has a weapon and he has nothing. We have a 5/5 and a lot of health. This game is ours. There's a lot of interesting rogue builds out there. Like, people play Leroy Jenkins, they buff Jenkins with some combo cards. This is very unfortunate for him that he had to play it in this order. Okay, so this is GG, guys. We just played the Druid charge. Well played, sir. This is the end. Deal that damage. He conceded, which is fair. We had 10 damage on board and a Snowcat here. So yeah, this was the first game. It was pretty interesting. Let's see what happens in game 2. Welcome to the second game with Strifecro's Druid. We are playing against Torrens, a hunter. So we have to assume that this is an aggressive hunter that's very popular lately. And this hand is probably okay-ish. We'll draw something that we can innervate, and Rough is fine, so I will keep it. He has the coin. So let's see how it goes. So Pyromancer, so we can clear the board, but not this turn. I really need to level my Druid so I get a Novice Engineer, which is a golden one. They look badass, really, really sick. So he used Tracking. And now we can just play the Engineer and draw a card. We got a Hoarder. So this hand is kind of slowish. I won't play the Loot Hoarder turn 2, I prefer to play Druid turn 3. So now I won't play the Druid probably. I mean, I still can. But I don't... maybe? Doesn't make sense. It might make sense actually. Yeah, I think it's fine if I just play the Druid as a cat. Charge. Kill this guy. He draws 1 card, which is super fine. And then just start dealing damage. I have the board, I have the power. Next turn I will be able to heal this guy if needed. Or just play those 2. Which is probably kind of bad against a hunter because he has the explosive trap. Another Acolyte. Interesting. He's just cycling them right now. So yeah, okay, let's kill it again. Next turn is turn 4, so in case he has the multi-shot, I would just heal my guy. And deal 1 more damage.
Sure.
I can get a very lucky multi-shot here. Like, well, yeah, a lucky multi-shot will be just not getting hit here. A bit of immune to multi-shot, to the deadly shot as well. So, oh, a Pyromancer, and what? Hunter's Mark, so something is dead. Ooh, that's nice, that's a good play, sir. And a Loot Hoarder. And I got Cairne, so what do? I think I kill both of them and then play Harvest Golem.
If you're sure.
I could actually draw a card first. It's always good to draw the card first. Engineer. Harvest Golem is still a valid play here. So he is playing some kind of a control hunter, I think, because he draws a lot of cards. He has the board control with Wild Pyromancer, a Jungle Panther, and a Secret. So it's probably an explosive trap. So what do we get? I say, okay, we have to check if it's an explosive trap, unfortunately, so let's check it. It's not. It might be sniped then. It's not misdirection, so it might be sniped. So is it snipe? Is it snipe? I don't know. Like if it's snipe, it's actually fine if I play Cairne right now, right? Right? I think it's okay. So this snipe Cairne. This snipe Cairne. I feel bad right now. He sniped my Cairne. I have 6 cards. Well, that's why I don't like the Control Hunter, because it's so easy to play around those traps. Oh, the Reckless Rocketeer, that's my... This is not a control anymore, like he switched. Now he's playing aggro. This is amusing. So, what do? I guess I can draw cards, play Sylvanas, like do some stuff. Let's draw a card first. Maybe I can draw a Starfall. It's a swipe. Do I like swipe? Can I use swipe now? I can probably use swipe. I think, yeah, let's use swipe, really. Or not. Let's just kill those dudes. Because I don't want to have any dudes on the board. Play Sylvanas because she's awesome. So this way I have the board set up. I have Sylvanas. He needs to do something with Sylvanas. I still have 21 health. I can heal myself to 26. I can clear the board. Can I finish this next turn? Probably not. It's 12, it's 16. Yeah, it's 16 really. So this... Oh, okay. Those just have to be explosive traps. And Hunter's Mark. And a bow. And he only has 2 cards. So I guess Sylvanas is toast. This is a really weird situation right now. So I have to attack for 1. If this is misdirection, explosive trap triggers. So this is another snipe. Okay, I got Bane. So what else do I do? So is this snipe or not? Do you snipe me? Seriously, man, do you snipe? He snipes and I draw a card, which is fine. And I have the Wrath. Well, I probably need to play cards and that's it, like have a board. This game is getting pretty interesting, like this hunter seems to work.
I hope you like my invention.
Next turn obviously I will play this guy a heal and play a Wrath. Should I actually expect King Crush? Maybe I should. Oh, Flare, sure. Flare is fine, like, against mages. And it's really easy to cycle. Oh, again, Cycle Flare, sure. Well played. he has a lot of cycling effects. He really wants to draw that King Crush. 8 cards. What? How is this possible? Like those cards have to be good. Well, I guess. Like, what do I do? I have to heal. I just have to heal. There are like King Crush shenanigans. Like, what can you do? Just kill this guy so that he can draw another card. 1 damage to the field, which is not really wise. Like, this was my mistake, I guess. Yeah, I totally forgot about this guy. So yeah, you make people make mistakes all the time. This is 2 damage. I think I'm ahead, so I can just push his head, and I have another heal and swipe. So he can deal 5 damage with his board. If he has King Crush, he can deal 9 more. So 14, right? So do you heal? Oh, Voodoo Doctor, sure. Yeah. He's going for the face. Like he has a total disregard for his own life. He's not willing to trade? Weird. Well played. This was a funny game. So yeah, this is like, I've showed you how you can make a mistake with the Pyromancer, which is pretty important because people do those mistakes. I did it just now, so I wasn't concerned about Pyromancer, I was thinking about something else, and I totally forgot about that 1 damage. It didn't mean much in that game, but sometimes you can just lose because of that, because you kill your minions, or like, they drop health, so you really have to remember about that. So yeah, this was game 2, and let's proceed to another game. So welcome to the 3rd game with Strifecro's Druid deck. We are playing against Nomen, a Paladin. And we finally get a coin. So this hand, against a Paladin, if he's an aggro build, you probably want to have Swipe, you want to have Harvest Golem. But you also want to have a 2-drop. I mean, we have a coin, so we can play Harvest Golem as a 2-drop. But then, we don't have a 3-drop, so I will mulligan this 2. And try to get a 2-drop or a 3-drop. And this is fine. And this is perfect turn 6 or 5, depending on what we get. So, greetings sir, greetings Mr. Nomen. And yeah, again. Innervate Harvest Golem. Like, this is the start our play now. And next turn we can like attack and play Earthen Ring Farseer. Or like another Harvest Golem if we get it. This is exactly what I was talking about. And those guys will be immune to... Do I play it? I think I do. Like, yeah. Those guys are totally immune to Consecration. So this is his turn 3. And I already have like 2 3-drops on the board. Peacekeeper is probably fine, if he has one. He just has a 1-1. I mean, this game can be pretty fast.
That was a mistake.
Probably it was, yeah, man. But, what do you actually do against this setup? And I have a swipe, and I have, like, 2 Druids of the Cloud. Like, see how aggressive this hand is. This is a hyper-aggressive hand. Oh, a Chillwind Yeti. But I got a claw. So what do I do with a claw? I guess... Well, I think I can just attack. I mean... Let's do it. Let's just deal damage. Why not? Because I can't kill the Yeti now. So... I guess let's see if we can just finish him off with attacks. Next turn I can just deal 7 or something, and then, like, again. This will be a funny aggro hand. Well, I have to kill the Yeti now, so that's for sure. But I still have a 4/4 charge and can still continue to bash his head. He has 6 mana, so he can play something good. Well, playing him as a 4/6 taunt probably wouldn't be that good, because he can have a Black Knight. So yeah, he's on 12. He has a Silver Knight. Well guys, this is casual, so it happens. We'll play, this is a good card. It's like 6/6 for 5, so yeah. Yeah, by mostly, I'd like to show you guys like how this deck works, what hands you get. What? We'll play. Yeah, so let's just continue being very aggressive here. He has 2 life. And he concedes, obviously. Yeah, so this was a fun third game, like you were able to see how fast this deck can be. I mean, this was a weird setup that we had, but you can also have those kinds of hands in this deck. Swipe can be used with different things, so most of the times you just get into that setup when you destroy something with Black Knight, and then you start pushing with damage, and your opponent is on the defensive. You use swipes as finishers, so there's a lot of stuff you can do with this deck. So yeah, I had fun. I hope you had fun as well. This is a very good deck. I really recommend you to play it, to try it. And even if you are not playing with this deck, like, learn about it and know about it, because people play it. I was playing a lot of mirror matches with exact deck when I was playing on the legend level. So this deck is super popular, and it will be popular, and it will probably grow in popularity. So I will be using this deck when I will be grinding into the legend rank after the ladder reset, and I will have fun doing it. So yeah, this is it. This was the 3rd episode of Deck Check. If you liked it, just like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel, and see you guys in the next episode.